when I was reading the book, I found that there's a lot of factual research in the book. As an architect, I saw that you sort of touched upon design, whether it is in architecture, whether it's textile, as in carpet, and also the scripts, the Brahmi script, the Sharda script, which as a Kashmiri was of particular interest to me, and the Pali and Sanskrit, of course. So, what prompted all this? I mean, this requires a whole lot of research. So, how did you research this? And did the research feed into the narrative or the narrative fed into the research? What happened there?
Well, so I mean, I didn't do any organized way of research, right? So what happened? So while writing the previous book, right, I was reading a lot about ancient Indian history, about the Aryan history, the Sanskrit language, how the language evolved, right? And then I figured out that like Indians are very bad keepers of history. Like, I mean, we never recorded our own history, and we allowed everybody else in the world to write our history and talk about us, right? So, but hakikat wahi hai, right? मतलब, we didn't write. Now, what to do? But while reading about ancient history, I came across some articles which mentioned that the only source about ancient Indian history is Rig Veda, and which is a religious book, right? And then I started reading, reading Rig Veda, and the first thing I realized that whenever a book gets the tag of a religious book or something theological, right? I think that's the death of the book, right? Because Rig Veda, that's the first book written by humanity, some close to 3,000 years back, and why nobody reads Rig Veda? I think one reason is that it's a religious book. I think the moment it gets a tag, you will never read Bible and then talk about the language of Bible or the उसमें कितने similes use किए गए हैं या how many alankars are there in Bible, right? It's same thing. I think Rig Veda, nobody even talks about the literary value of that book, right? Or the historical value. So that's why I realized that a lot of our history is preserved not by conventional historical things, but by but through very unconventional things like a religious book. And that's where slowly I came across that carpet designs, the designs you see in the Persian carpets, they each design that you see, they are more than 3,000 year old, and every design of the Persian carpets or the Kashmiri carpets have wealth of history, and they've preserved some very intricate things about history. And likewise the architecture, like just by seeing the architecture, I mean, you can know a lot behind who made those architecture, right? So I believe, so that's where I was interested in finding out history from non-historical sources or non-archaeological sources. So I think that's how this carpet, this
Okay.
whether it's the Brahmi script
Yeah.
or anything that you
Anything.
mentioned.
So yeah.